Obesity costs our nation about $150 billion a year. That's 10% of all medical costs. Approximately 1 in 3 adults are obese and 1 out of 6 children. I'm Ryan Burrington, COO of Supplement RX, and welcome to Section 1 Training, Why Supplements. There is no doubt obesity is a big healthcare issue, and I hope you're excited to start your training because I'm excited. We have the awesome opportunity in our industries to impact and provide solutions to help people reach their goals. And that goal that most people want to achieve coming into your facility is weight loss. Now, losing weight is pretty easy. You take off a couple shoes and you're down a couple pounds. So we got to define it more than that. People want to lose fat. They want to tighten and tone. They want to keep and maybe build a little bit of lean muscle. And whether they know it or not, they need help, because more and more are failing every year at reaching their weight loss goals. And if we go back just a few decades, we can dig into where this rise in overweight and obesity started. So we're gonna look at 1992, and here's a map. Now the purple states is 50 to 55% of those states' population is overweight and obese. I'm just gonna go forward a few years, and we're gonna see red. Now that is 55% or more are overweight and obese in those states. Let's go forward a few more years, and we see a lot more red. Now we're gonna stop and address what we just saw in about 6 years. There's a rise in overweight going on. So what in the 90s, if we look at it, really started to cause this? Well, we know there's changes in how our food was made. A lot more access to fast food places being popped up everywhere. You know, McDonald's is introducing the 32-ounce soda. 7-Eleven's coming out with a 40-ounce Big Gulp. And then you got the internet going public in 1991. Those are some big things. And certainly does affect how we're eating or what we're eating and how we're moving. So much that if we go to 2010, we see every single state has a population of 55% or more are now overweight and obese. And if this training was on Verizon phone coverage, this would be a good thing. But we're dealing with the serious issue here. 67% of our population is overweight or obese, and experts predict that if this trend continues, 9 out of 10 of us will be overweight in our lifetime. And that certainly affects our quality of life, how long we're gonna live, medical costs. So let's take this next by looking at why people gain weight. And it starts with a simple look at calories, and that is what we're consuming, calories we're eating, and calories we're burning, how we're moving. And weight gain happens when we're eating more calories than we're burning. And to lose weight, you need to burn more calories than you are eating. Let's grab this fact and apply it to what people are doing then. And we're going to start with the top 5 food choices based on most consistent calories people put in their body daily. And the reason why, for weight loss and weight gain, 75 to 80% of it is all about nutrition and what we're eating. So without further ado, here they are. Number 1, sugar drinks, pastries, grains, hamburgers, pizza, and chips. And go ahead, you can say, right? I mean, those look good. And the number 1 is sugar drinks. And how quickly could you drink a can of soda and put in about 150 calories in your body, right? Probably by the time the slide is done. And the other thing we got to look at is how easy and convenient these foods are. It's one-stop shopping. You can now get pizza by the slice at gas stations. And the other thing we got to look at is what are these high in? A lot of times people look at it and say sugar, carbohydrates. And yes, you're correct. But they're also high in calories. And a big reason for this being high in calories and sugar and carbohydrates, a lot of times is how it's produced. So this is the first point that we're going to dig into when we talk about why supplements. It's compensating for problems in food production. And that really comes down to processed foods, the first thing we want to look at. And if you look under there, you'll see added fats and oils and sugars. And basically when you add fats and oils, you're definitely increasing the calorie that's in the food. And another issue with processed food is a lot of times you're adding in sodium and you're taking out good nutrients. So you're putting in less nutrients to the body. And because it's everywhere and it's easy, convenient, prepackaged, 63% of what people are eating is processed food. And it would be highly recommended and beneficial to swap that out with plant food and eat 63% of fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nutrient-rich foods. But if we take a step back and talk about how food is grown, and we're going to look at plants and animals, we're going to uncover another issue. And let's start with plants. And so when we look at this, as far as agriculture or farming back in the day, That's pretty intense work. My guy's pretty slim, right? Would have been great to get him some protein and glutamine. He would have been huge, right? I mean, can you imagine walking up and down rows and rows, acres and acres of land, holding on to a heavy, shaky plow like that? I mean, there's no doubt, there's a reason why he was slim. But when you look at things like number of plants per acre, like 7,000, basically imagine a square, a section of land, that's how much was grown based on the capabilities of farming at that time. If we go to present day, things have changed. There's machines that just do planting, just do spraying, combines that harvest acres and acres of crop per hour, and drones that can fly over and tell you any diseases in the plants, bugs on the plants, what you need to spray with, and it's all to do one thing, to get as much as you can out of that land. So that same acre now is 5 times more plants coming out of that, 35,000. And don't get me wrong, technology in agriculture has been a great thing. You know, we're able to feed more people with the growing population and get more food out there. But there's one thing with the advances in technology that we got to look at, is there's certainly less nutrients. And if we look at this, we can look at mineral depletion in soil from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Basically, that is one fun slide. I mean, if I was a kid, that's the slide I'm going on. But the reality is, if you're talking minerals, in less than 100 years, there's been a lot of minerals lost in the soil because of how much is being grown out of there and the chemicals and the fertilizers. And that definitely impacts our nutrients. So the food, before it even gets to package and production, we've already lost some nutrients, sometimes upwards of 20-25%. Next, let's look at food production from animals. And we only need to take a quick trip with Doreen the Downer here and look at the adventure here and uncover what the issue is. This cow doesn't get grass. Doreen gets a stall and some corn. Throw in some waste product, and oh yeah, she's going to have a lot of friends, which means more burgers, but more cows could increase sickness. So she gets more antibiotics. Add in some hormones and steroids so she can grow faster, and certainly keep giving this cow lots of corn and waste products. So as we can see, all of this can impact the quality and the nutrients in the animal products too. Now, the next point to why supplements, we're going to look at lack of knowledge in portion sizes. And really what this is about is, number one, portion sizes have changed. It's probably not a newsflash. You know, the soda's not the same, the hamburger, the fries, everything has gotten bigger, which means more calories, right? And for most people, they're just not aware of it. They don't think about it. What does that really mean if I'm drinking that 42-ounce soda? But the second thing to that is people don't understand what a true portion size is. It's not what's served on your plate. You know, it's usually half that. You know, you go to a restaurant, what they're serving is not a full serving. It's really half that, which means about half the calories a lot of times. So when we're cooking at home or going out, it's important to be aware of what is a good portion size to keep the calories where they need to be. Which really brings us to a lack of knowledge in proper nutrition. There are good things that teach balance and portion size, like this Choose My Plate. You know, certainly more fruits and vegetables on your plate, lean protein, whole grains. But that is just the small part to proper nutrition. I mean, we're dealing with people that want to lose weight and are active, so we got to talk about calorie control. Making sure our calories are in check so we can lose the weight. And then another big one, eating balanced meals 5 to 6 times a day. That helps drive our metabolism consistently throughout the day. Nourish our muscles every 2 to 3 hours. Keep our hunger in check. Every 2 to 3 hours we're putting something in our stomach, we're less likely to overeat. I mean, if it's been 6 to 8 hours, you haven't ate, your body's screaming at you and you're more likely to eat a ton of calories at once. And then lastly, a key one, you're going to have the energy and focus. You're going to feel good. And those things are the basics to good nutrition. However, there is one huge challenge that people have to following good nutrition, and that is people are busy. If you're busy, it makes it hard to prepare good balanced meals, and 5 to 6 of them that you can take to work or eat at home. And then you throw in the fact that people are stressed, which by the way causes more nutrient loss. I mean, they got a lot of things that they're worried about, and they got a lot of different roles and responsibilities going on, that this lifestyle factor here that we're looking at really impacts following good nutrition. But it also does one more thing, and this is the last thing we're going to dig into. It affects how they move. They're less likely to work out and move more. But the good news is we're dealing with people that are moving on some level. They're coming into the facility. They certainly are exercising. So when we talk about exercise creates a need to do some different things that supplements can help, and one of them is going to be refuel and replenish. The quicker we can do that and refuel the body and put nutrients back in, we're setting ourselves up to rebuild and repair muscle tissue. And muscle tissue is precious. I mean, the more we can keep and build, the more calories we can burn every day and have that tight tone look. And also be able to protect the body. I mean, if you're exercising, you're breathing more. You're getting more free radicals in the body. So it's important to protect. And then lastly, supplements can help increase your intensity or performance of working out. Burn more calories. Do it for a longer period of time. And this is where most people see the benefits of supplements. But in this training, we mostly looked at nutrition and the issues and challenges with it. And remember this, nutrition is 75 to 80% of weight loss success, but also failures. So let's wrap up this first training with a summary and some takeaways on the benefits of supplements. Supplements is a part of the solution to helping people that want to lose weight. And we know most people coming in the facility, that's their goal. And we also looked at what causes overweight, and that is eating too many calories and not burning enough through exercise and movement. And we also looked at most people aren't getting enough nutrients. And that goes along with the fact that people want that tight tone look. They want to keep muscle tissue. And if you're not feeding your body enough nutrients and you have gaps, that's going to make it very difficult while you're losing weight to keep and or build that all-important muscle. Let's put some summarized points down on this and start with calories consumed and the issues there. We talked about processed foods. That's a big one. Adding fats and oils into food raises the calories, and too many people are eating processed foods. Also, portion sizes, not being aware of what that means when you have that much food on your plate or that much soda and the calories that are going in. And then not having a good understanding of proper nutrition, balance, and what you should be eating is a challenge. And then lastly, being busy and stressed is certainly going to affect your ability to prepare 5 to 6 meals a day. And those are some key issues that makes it very easy to eat more calories than one should be. And then if we looked at calories burned by activity and exercise, well, we know there's a lack of movement. People aren't moving as much anymore. And part of that is the technology causing us to sit around more, but also, throw up busy and stressed again. That's going to make you less likely to move and get to the facility for a great workout. And as we explore nutrients, we saw how the processing of plants and animals decreases nutrients, and so does poor soil. Nutrients are not in the soil like they were decades ago. And when the diet is poor balance, you're going to be missing nutrients and have more gaps. Now watch the screen closely, because everything reviewed leads to this point. Supplements provide the opportunity to drive weight loss success by supporting the calorie balance, but also increasing the nutrient intake. And that's all about keeping the muscle, being healthy, overall body health, being energized and focused to set people up for lasting results. And supplements can provide calorie control, shakes and bars, which help keep the calories going in every day down. A good supplement will provide a great balance of protein, carbs, and fats and not short you on anything. And a huge benefit is ease and convenience, helping get those 5 to 6 meals and snacks in a day to drive metabolism, consistently be feeding the muscles, and get control of hunger. Moving on to calories burned, taking supplements can sure help you increase your performance, have a higher intensity workout, perhaps a longer workout, all helping burn more calories. Next up, supplements can help increase energy and focus. And when you're feeling energized and you're focused, you're more likely to move more instead of sit around being tired and unmotivated, which affects how much calories you can burn. And while you're moving more, better recovery allows you to get to that next workout ready to go again. And then finally, taking supplements helps drive more nutrients into the body and make sure we're plugging any nutritional gaps. Because if you're eating less and moving more, we gotta make sure we got the nutrients going back in. And a great way to do that is with a good multivitamin. Get those nutrients back in without calories to make sure we're plugging any nutritional gaps. And when you see everything on the screen in line like it is, more calories being burned and a high nutrient intake, you're set up for lasting success. And the bottom line to why supplements, it's all about the results. Helping people reach their goals as quickly, as safely, and as effective as possible. We look forward to you joining in on the next training section where we'll dig into why Supplement RX.